Everyone wants success, everyone wants freedom, money, control, the win, right? But almost no one asks the real question, how much pain am I willing to endure to get it? Because success doesn't just cost effort, and it doesn't just cost discipline, it costs suffering. And that's where most people tap out. As an athlete, you already understand this at some level. You choose pain early. Early mornings, conditionings, a losing season, failing publicly in front of everyone. You didn't become good overnight. You didn't become elite without years and years of discomfort. But when athletes move into business, something weird happens. They forget about that same rule that still applies. They think business should be easier, cleaner, more rewarding, faster because of the success they've had. But guess what? It's not. If anything, it's harder. And I want to say this early in the video because it frames everything else. Success costs more than you think. Not in hustle, but in your life. And ultimately, the biggest way I think about this is how much pain are you willing to endure to be successful? That is ultimately the cost of success. All right, we're gonna start this video. I'm gonna show you one of the greatest motivational speeches that I've actually personally ever watched. And of course I'm biased. I'm talking about none other than in Rocky VI. I grew up watching the Rocky movies with my dad. I'm sure a lot of y'all have watched those too. I love those movies and still do. And in Rocky VI, one of a scene that I genuinely believe is one of the greatest motivational speeches ever put on film. Not because of the hype, but because it's incredibly honest about what success takes. And it's that scene, which we're gonna play in a minute here, but it's where Rocky is talking to his son. And he says, it's not about how hard you hit, but it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. So watch the clip here.
You ain't gonna believe this. Well, you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day. It was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always gonna love you no matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son, you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't gonna have a life. Don't forget to visit your mother.
There you have it. That is, my opinion, man, one of the greatest speeches ever recorded in any film. And I've heard that line 100 times, but the older I get and the longer that I'm in business, it actually becomes a reality. This isn't about boxing. This is about endurance in life. It's a standard, and most people never meet it. Like, everyone wants to hit hard. Everyone wants to make a big impact, but everyone wants to win, but very few people are willing to keep moving forward and endure pain. I mean, I can't tell y'all the amount of people that have started in entrepreneurship or even in sports, and the second they feel a bit of discomfort, they quit. If you quit, and that's the kind of person you are, you're not built for this. Don't watch the channel, don't become an entrepreneur, go work for the government or get some stable job. If you aren't willing to endure high levels of pain, this profession ain't for you. And if you look at that, the line that Rocky said, yeah, it's a movie, but that is such a true line that if you can endure pain and you can take hits, I mean, if you have a strong chin in all these different areas, you will be successful because you stay in the game. And really, there is no guarantee it's going to work, and that's entrepreneurship. That's why success costs more than you think. I've been an entrepreneur for over a decade now, and when I look back, the thing that surprises me the most isn't the workload. Of course, that's big. I expected the work. I mean, y'all expect the work, but what I didn't fully understand is that how much this would take from my life, how much this path would actually take from me. The all-nighters turns into years of missed time. The sacrifice sleep, that putting your health on the shelf. I mean, the stress that doesn't shut off. I mean, putting money on the line with no guarantee, going all in, knowing there's no safety net. I mean, losing friendships that I thought were locked in for life, people I assumed to be with me forever, until things got uncomfortable. Employees letting me down, people misunderstanding my motives, being judged without context, being misunderstood by family, friends. I mean, and slowly realizing something that no one prepares you for this. There's no coach, there's no teammates, there's no one to say, hey, time out, let's come together. A lot of times as an entrepreneur, you're alone. It's a lonely journey, and it's you carrying the weight, and that's the expectation gap that no one tells you. It's not just the hard work. Sure, it's hard work, but it requires a harder life. Life gets harder as an entrepreneur. It ain't easier. And here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. The biggest advantage in business, it isn't even intelligence or talent or even discipline. It's actually the person who stays in the game the longest, because most people quit. And if you stay in the game, your probability for success skyrockets. And this is where everyone loves the famous Michael Jordan story about going through the bad boy Pistons. If you don't know, in the late 1980s, Jordan kept running into the Detroit Pistons, which were known as the bad boy Pistons. I mean, this is when people love basketball, by the way. Y'all think basketball's soft now? Go watch some of those highlights. They didn't just beat him, they physically punished him. They built an entire defensive system around hitting him, knocking him down, wearing him out. Jordan lost to them 3 years in a row. In 1988, in 1989, and in 1990. That's 3 straight years where he endured pain, pain, pain. And here's what people miss. Jordan didn't leave. He didn't complain publicly. He didn't change teams. He endured it. And he went to the weight room. He added size. He changed the way he trained. He absorbed contact. He pushed himself. He trained every single day. And the reason we know his name, we even talk about him, is because he stayed in the game long enough to endure the pain, to be able to make impact. In 1991, the Bulls finally defeated the Detroit Pistons and went on to win the championship. See, the pain didn't stop him. The pain prepared him. Business works the exact same way as that. People love to say, oh, Elon's a genius, so of course he's successful. Man, you know how many smart people there is out there that didn't build companies? It's like, this is just what lazy people, what victims in today's world say. They'll say, the guy's a genius, of course he's worth billions of dollars. Man, there's a lot of geniuses out there that have never built a company. Elon's ability to endure pain and have a long-term vision is unmatched. Elon's quote that he has said, growing a company, this is what he said, this is his words. He said, growing a company is like eating shards of glass and staring into the abyss. Think about that. That is an insane quote to say, and the pain he's had to endure is more than me and probably more than you'll have to endure, but it's that pain threshold that has been able to carry him to the success he's had today. Here's another truth for you to hear. The market is not friendly. Let me say it again. The market is not friendly. It doesn't care about our feelings. It doesn't care about our vision. It doesn't care about, I've worked so hard for this. I deserve this. If your product sucks, the market will spit you out. And a lot of the times, it is really you versus the world, which is why pain inevitably forces you to ask the real question, who are you building this for? And this is where I want to be very clear. Anyone can endure pain to achieve success on earth. There are plenty of people who sacrifice their health, families, and their integrity and won on earth. There's people that stayed up late, pushed through the stress. They took the punches and they kept going. And the world rewarded them for it. So the question is not whether you can endure pain. Understand that that's required, but the real question is why? What are you willing to suffer for? Scripture doesn't say you won't succeed on earth without God. It asks whether that success is actually worth what it costs you. Jesus puts it this way. In Matthew chapter 16, verse 26, it says, "For what profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul?" This verse isn't anti-work. It isn't anti-success. It's not telling you not to build. It's a gut check that forces you to ask, what am I trading away in the process of winning? Because endurance without direction can destroy you. The same pain, the same sacrifice, the same discipline, two very different outcomes depending on who you were building it for. If you're enduring pain just for yourself, for money, status, ego, your own dreams, eventually the pain's gonna hollow you out. But if God has called you to build something, if you're stewarding that, the endurance isn't just toughness, it's actually obedience. You're not suffering to prove something to someone else, you're suffering because you were entrusted with something from God, you were entrusted with a mission, and that changes everything. See, it's not whether we can endure pain. The reason most of this video was talking about pain is because that's the cost. That's what it takes to be successful. But at the end of the day, I don't want to stop there and say, okay, endure pain, go crazy, and build your company. That's not the point. The point is not whether you can endure pain. The point is, why do you want to endure the pain? And if you have a mission and a calling from God, and you're understanding that our whole goal in life is to know God, Jesus Christ, and to make him known and follow his plan for your life, not your own plan. See, we're not the author of this story. We're simply characters in God's story. He's the main character, not us. And if we understand and we really come to grips and spend time with God and pray and ask, what is the goal and the calling that God has for you? Once you understand that, then understand that if you want to achieve something great, there's pain that needs to be endured, but why are you doing it, and what is your ultimate purpose in enduring that pain? And then once you know that purpose, and you're locked in, you understand God has put you on this earth for a certain reason, man, you can endure any pain. Viktor Frankl, he's a Holocaust survivor. He wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. And he has a quote in that book that says, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." And so ultimately, that's the challenge that I have for y'all is, what is the why that you're living for? And once you understand that why, then understand, man, pain is inevitable. You want to be successful, you want to make an impact, understand you've got to endure pain, and that's part of it. And enjoy it. Love the suffering, because ultimately that's going to lead you to great places. All right, I appreciate you guys, man. This is a new channel. I'm committed to posting videos every week on this channel, same quality, same depth, same honesty. And so if you're already in business, or maybe you're just getting started, maybe you're an athlete right now and you're preparing for what comes next, or maybe you're a previous athlete, you've been in business, I'm here for you. This channel exists to help you endure the calling that God has for your life and pursue from going from an athlete to being an entrepreneur, and really going through and sharing, man, my journey along the way. I'm on this journey. I have nowhere close reached the destination, and I'm on the same journey as a lot of y'all are. And so I'm just going to share from my perspectives. Hopefully I can bring some inspiration. And so if you're new, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment. Helps the channel grow a lot, especially in these early days. But I'm committed and I'm here for y'all. And so check out there's going to be another video here that's going to pop up. Definitely check that one out, and we'll see you in the next video. Love y'all. See ya.